Good afternoon, all professors. Today, I'd like to share with you about students' perceptions and employees' usage of English, a needs analysis of ESP. This presentation will cover three structures, including introductions, methodology, and results and discussions. So at the beginning of the introductions, three parts will be presented, separating from our background and motivation, purpose of the studies, and research questions. Starting with our background, as the prior researchers said, English has become the primary international language, which can be widely used in many situations, including education and socialization. In the period of our study, gradually English took on the crucial role in schools or university, which is regarded as a compulsory course in Taiwan's education. In the past 2 decades, Hutchinson, Waters, and Striven realized that learning English should be based on students' needs and their goals, so as to meet the requirement between schools and workplace. Therefore, the education of technology college started focusing on English learning for specific purposes rather than general English. At first, the origin of ESP was divided into two periods, 1945 and 1970s. Between the two periods, the researchers were aware that general English courses did not meet learners' or employees' wants in 1960s. Therefore, the development of ESP was occurred, involving three fields: education, linguistics, and psychology. Hutchinson and Waters also defined the ESP that it is and its approaches to language teaching in which all decisions are based on the learner's reason for learning. That is to say, students can basically learn from specific fields more directly, such as English for management, finance, information, design, and so forth. In types of ESP, David Carter identified three types: English as the restrictive language, academic and occupational purposes, and specific topics. Particularly in final types of ESP cut into our study. With the concept of the ESP approaches, it is essential for researchers that needs analysis is a fundamental element for specific purpose language teaching. As the prior researcher said, it should base on any language courses so that teachers can be able to establish what and how of the course, and thereafter design ESP courses more effectively. Because needs analysis involves seeking and clarifying information about learners' needs on ESP courses, we also point out the definition and framework. Before we talk the type of needs analysis, Grave defined that needs analysis could help the learners find out what they may know, what they can do, and what they need to learn. After we finish getting to know the overview of needs analysis, we reorganize their functions during the study so as to better understand the relation among these points. In type of needs, Hutchinson and Waters point the two ideas. Wants is what the learner actually wants to learn and feel they need. Lakes is the contradiction between what the learners needs and what they already know. While in types of analysis, Westerfeld focused on present situation and target situation, which have cohesion with the type of needs. When both concepts were organized, the role of participants were found. When we started to do the research, we have looked for the reference based on 4 different films. In management, writing and In management, the prior researchers found that speaking plays the crucial role for employees, especially work in discussions, conversation, and instructions. In the finance of employees, Wood and Chin thought reading, writing, and speaking skills were important, and also list the tasks, such as reading financial magazine, email, website, writing email, and telephoning. In an information, same situation with finance for employees. Reading, writing, and speaking took on essential role, such as reading minutes, writing report, and internal or external socialization tasks. In the field of design, Sargent and Ella point for English proficiency need to be improved for students. Further than studies provide reading newspapers, journal, website, attending exhibition with the use of oral communication. The purpose of study aimed to analyze the needs of English learning from different perspectives, including technology college students and the employees. Therefore, the research questions based on students' and employees' perceptions in terms of management, finance, information, and design were presented. First question was needs for English skills. The next question was needs for specific task of English skills. In our methodology, we present 3 points, which were divided into participants, instruments, and data collection. First, our participants were divided into 2 groups, including 76 students and 73 employees who work for local company in terms of 4 different fields: service, banking, manufacturing, and media communication divisions in Taiwan. In order to make the researchers understand the different perspectives between students and employees, a 5-point Likert Scales questionnaire was designed with the form of paper sheets and online service, which was divided into 3 sections: personal information, English proficiency, and the needs of specific skills. In accordance with Link's research structures, we first revised the questionnaire and then delivered to students and employees. After having been collected, we analyzed the data so as to compare and contrast between the 2 participants' needs. During the process of data analysis, we use mean scores and standard deviation to describe how different phenomena between the 2 targets. So now, based on research questions, I'd like to show the point toward needs for English between students and employees' perceptions. When it comes to the management field, English proficiency was below the average, which means both students and employees needed to improve their skills, especially reading and listening. In the meantime, listening and reading for employees were apparently lower than those of students. Representing employees need a considerably more improvement for listening and reading than students. In the field of finance, they have no dramatically difference within their four skills. The bar graph depicts that both students and employees needed to improve their four skills, particularly listening skills, followed by reading, speaking, and writing skills. In the field of information, similarly, they also have no dramatically difference within their four skills. The bar graphs show that both students and employees need to improve their four skills, especially reading skills, followed by listening, speaking, and writing skills. In regards to design, the mean score of reading for both students and employees was below the average. It seems that they all wanted to improve their reading skills. Furthermore, employees were generally most likely to improve reading when they may operate these skills into the media sections, while students might train to read a variety of scripts so as to accumulate their practical experience but still need to practice. This finding was identical to the result of Zen studies that English language needs of non-native students who were from Asia needed to start with reading. The next questions I started to point out the specific task between students and employees' perceptions. In the field of management and finance, students and employees had no remarkable difference toward needs for specific tasks of English skills. In other words, they all reached their requirements in English 4 skills so that they can link with professional theory and practical use in the school or the workplace. With respect to information, the table depicts the top 3 reading tasks which had the correlation between students and employees. It is clear from the information provided that students were generally most likely to read instructions, manual, and email, while employees who work in the division of manufacturing use these tasks seldom at their workplace. Same with the idea in respect to the field of design. Students were more enabled to write copy in advertisements, DMs, and reports, so they feel unnecessary to learn, while employees who work in the division of media communications regard writing tasks as the least used skill in the workplace. In reading tasks, the design students considered reading web information, catalog, and copy in advertisements were more likely to learn at school, while employees were generally less enabled to read catalog. Moreover, the finding reflects Zen studies, which indicate that reading is important for those in the design field because they need to gain recent information from the website. In listening and speaking tasks, the table showed that students would like to learn the presentation, social occasions such as overseas exhibitions and business discussions, while employees unnecessarily needed to use these tasks at the workplace. In the previous findings, speaking and listening play the essential role when design students need to attend the exhibition. It seems that students might learn this task in school, but employees who work in the division of media communication lacked of opportunity to use oral tasks in an internal or overseas condition. So in conclusion, our findings basically have 4 films apparently. So at first, in the management, while the English proficiencies discussed above were significantly different in reading and listening for both participants, they had no discrepancy in their task. In the finance, students and employees had no remarkable difference toward needs for English skills plus specific tasks. In other words, both participants reached their requirements in the school or the workplace. In the information, while reading needs to improve for both participants, they have different points of view which students frequently learn to read manual and email, but employees didn't use these tasks at the workplace. In the field of design, reading showed the different opinions of the level of improvement between students and employees. We also discovered the discrepancy within 4 English skills for specific tasks. First is reading catalog. Second is oral presentation, attend, oversee exhibition, and business discussion. And third is writing copy in edits, advertisements, DM, and reports. So this is the end of the presentation. Thank you.